Welcome to the Dork Forest. Jackie and her pals will never bore us. Shameless confessions
about our obsession
will make us laugh and smile. So let's explore the Dork Forest and dork out for a while.
Hey, it's Jackie Cation. Welcome to the Dork Forest. You know the websites, JackieCation.com, dorkforest.com, thedorkforest.com, FamilyPetAncestry.com. Here's a vow. I'm not going to buy any more domain names. There we go. But they all lead you mostly to JackieCation.com and dorkforest.com. The Dork Forest, of course, on iTunes. You can always review it on iTunes. I am trying to get through everybody's emails to thank people for commenting on iTunes and to me about liking the show. I try to respond to all the emails, at least, Jackie@JackieCation.com if you want to email me. The credits. Patrick Brady's going to fix this audio. I am in an echoey apartment in New York City. Good for you, Patrick. And Mike Rickberg composed and sang the song at the beginning of the show. He will sing again the Mexican hat dance at the end. And Vilmos does JackieCation.com, my website. So keep that in mind. My sister, there will be an ad where she reads her own ad as a socially responsible financial advisor, and she pronounces our last name different. So you get it. Here's the scoop about this episode, you guys. It's live at the New York Podfest. Jeremy Ween, we'd like to thank him for including the Dork Forest, and Fontana's, the bar restaurant-y thing that the event was held at. And it's an amazing guest with Bridget Everett, whose dorkdom, I realized afterwards, is Sincerity. And I say that in the least sincere voice, but I mean it. It was great. Other than that, you can order stuff on the Dork Forest, but I'm on the road. I'm not going to send it out until February 2nd. You may donate to the Dork Forest if you enjoy the show and want to give me $10 a month. And you can remember to do it because I haven't made it easy. You just hit the PayPal button on dorkforest.com or JackieCation.com and send me $10. $100 a year is what I'm looking for from everyone who has $100 a year to give me, because that makes you a super fan. Usually just get a postcard or a sticker in the mail saying, hey, you're a super fan, and thanks a lot for the donation. But you can also order stuff, but you're not going to get it until the first week of February, is what I am saying. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let's get to it.
At RBC Wealth Management, social responsibility starts at the top. As a part of the Royal Bank of Canada, RBC has been recognized among the world's financial, social, and environmental corporate leaders. Our sense of responsibility extends to our reputation for putting clients' interests first. My personal commitment is to help you achieve your financial goals by also considering sustainable and responsible investing strategies. To learn more, visit www.darlacashin.com. RBC Wealth Management, a division of RBC Capital Markets, LLC. Member NYSE, FINRA, SIPC.
Fontana's New York Comedy Podfest. New York City Podfest. That's what it's called, right? Matt Bronger, Ding Donger, just brought the magic there. That was a half an hour of him, and it was fascinating, wasn't it? He's got to come on the Dork Forest. He came on one time. He talked about vinyl, but I don't know enough about vinyl to. I didn't have enough questions for him because he likes. What was he like? He likes records.
Oh, not the clothing.
No, not vinyl. Not the. You like siding? Vinyl is final. Steel is for real.
Vinyl siding? Is that what you said? Like
vinyl siding. It's my dad used to sell vinyl siding. It's a fascinating story.
I'd love to meet your father.
Oh my God! You should all meet my father. I taped an episode of The Dork Forest with my father that I can't stand listening to edit. Because in the middle of it, I said to him 3 times in this 45 minutes, I said, "You are not the hero of that story, Dad." I said, I don't like the math on how you met my stepmother while you were still with my mother. And he said, well, that's the math. It's not my fault.
Oh, jeez.
No, literally your fault. You were the one. And he said, well, you should have seen me in the 60s with Yvonne. No, I'm glad not to have. Who the fuck is
Who is
anyway?
Yvonne?
I've met Yvonne. Anyway.
All right.
Yvonne seems very nice. Let's Ladies and gentlemen, the Dork Forest theme song will be played at the end of the program, 10:10. Okay, because John, the sound guy, had to go away. I say this: welcome to the Dork Forest. Welcome to the New York Podfest. Welcome to Fontana's. Welcome to this weirdo street in the middle of wherever the fuck we are in New York. This feels like old-timey New York.
It feels dangerous.
It feels dangerous. It feels like Times Square in 1985.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's nice. Yeah. I'm sitting here with the lovely and talented Bridget Everett. Let's have a round of applause for Bridget Everett, who you can follow on the Twitter at Bridget Everett and bridgeteverett.net. And I think of you as like a singer, comedy. You're like out there. I don't know. Always entertaining. Always entertaining. But the thing is the way I describe you, never flattering to me. Like I can't. You know how you want to
work on that. I can work
right,
on that.
Please do. What's your bio? How do you describe yourself in the third person?
Oh God,
what is it?
I can't.
What's it like? You're half in the bag right now. You've been drinking for about 3 hours, right?
I have been.
Awesome.
I do like that at any festival you go to that there's like some kind of vodka, and it was nothing I've ever heard of before, but it's effective.
What's it called?
And
Click.
Yeah. I'm clicked out right now.
Click the vodka. And I'm Dayquilled out. It's pretty sweet. Dayquil and grapefruit juice.
I don't know. I guess I do like cabaret. Like, I know people are really talking about that these days. And
it's back. Cabaret, burlicue.
I used to call myself I didn't. Somebody called me a cabaret terrorist. Like, it's a delicate. Terrorist is like a bad word, but like basically just like
you think?
Like it just mostly it's like songs and stories and sexual contact. It's like if
content
cabaret,
or contact.
Both. It's like
okay.
if MMA is that what they call them?
The mixed martial.
Yeah, but if they put
hitting?
singing with it and they put it in a cabaret style venue, if you mix that MMA with like singing
breast.
and tits and emotions
and emotions,
I feel like you would get to where I'm not trying it. It's just it's primal. It's what's that kind of vodka again?
And the name of your solo show is Rock Bottom, right?
It's called Rock Bottom.
It's called Rock Bottom, and
it's not just a feeling. It's not just a place.
It's at the Public Theater, right next to your first AA meeting. What's that? It's going to be at the Public Theater. It's called Rock Bottom. It's your second run because it was critically acclaimed. It was acclaimed by the peoples, and so you're going to run it again for another 5 or 6 weeks, right?
Yeah. That's
I'm going to go see it here in New York when I get a chance, and then you have a Comedy Central special coming out in spring.
Yeah,
called Gynecological Wonder?
Gynecological Wonder. It's a reference to
a joke, I hope.
Well, if you're calling my vagina a joke, then yes.
I call mine a joke. Do you know I went to the gynecologist. Here's some info. I went to the gynecologist a couple of months ago. I came home and I said to Andy Ashcraft, my fella, hey, the gynecologist said I have the vagina of a 30-year-old. That's what the gynecologist said to me.
That is so nice.
It was so nice. And Andy Ashcraft raised both of his hands and he said, I am the rejuvenator. And then I was thinking about my vagina when it was 30 years old. And let me tell you about my vagina when it was 30 years old. A lot of dust balls, a lot of dust bunnies, some disuse, a doily, possibly some ribbon candy.
I love ribbon candy. If you're 30
well, you would have loved
vagina,
my vagina when I was 30.
If your vagina,
I would think it was available
just set up
for
with a bowl of ribbon candy next to it, I would visit it every day.
It was available for renting out for events.
Did you? I saw this thing on the internet today on Facebook. I don't normally. I like to go on the internet a lot, and then I was this thing about Jell-O, and they made a ribbon candy out of Jell-O. Have you seen that?
What?
It came up on my Facebook feed.
So like red Jell-O.
Like, the ribbon candies that you're talking about that were by your vagina in the 30th, your prime year when it was pink and had elasticity.
Right, there was a doily and then a bowl full of ribbon candy right inside
somebody in Japan is replicating that ribbon candy with Jell-O.
Wow.
Anyway, just Google it.
Just Google it. It's Jell-O, but it tastes like ribbon candy and it looks like ribbon candy.
They make it with marshmallows and blueberry Jell-O.
Wow.
And it's a multi-step process.
In Wisconsin, they'd call that a salad. Hey, did you get any ribbon candy salad? No, I didn't.
Okay, good. And here we are.
Here we are with Bridget Everett. And here's the thing about the Dork Forest. If you haven't seen the Dork Forest or heard the Dork Forest, it's at thedorkforest.com. It's at dorkforest.com. It's at familypetancestry.com. For no other reason than I thought it was funny. No, I bought familypetancestry.com because it made me laugh. And then I pointed it at my website. So... You want to know if your cat came over on the Mayflower? That's not my fucking problem. Go look at JackieCation.com because Family Pet Ancestry will take you there. Anyway, so your dog could be a member of the DAR, the Dogs of the American Revolution.
Yeah, man.
Right? Anyway, so I said to Bridget Everett, I said, will you be on the Dork Forest? And she said, yes, I will. And I said, what are your dorkdoms? What do you like? And she said, Barry Manilow. And you're wearing your Barry Manilow sweatshirt. This is an awesome sweatshirt. Did you get it at a concert?
I got it at a concert.
How many times have you seen him live?
This is so pathetic.
No, you should have seen Judah Friedlander last year with ping pong. Anyway.
Here's what happened, and I know that you're not asking me to go into this in detail, but basically, I was scheduled to go to see Barry Manilow at Radio City Music Hall in 2012, and on Valentine's Day, not alone, but with a friend, and then it turned out that he cracked his hip, and he had to get hip surgery.
Okay.
So the concert was canceled.
Sure.
And I put on Facebook, I said, oh no, I can't go to Eden's Valentine's Day, blah, blah, blah. I'm just going to sit home and watch the Westminster Dog Show, which is equally
as compelling.
But I was on my feet by the end because that was the year the Pekingese fucking took the gold. It's not a big deal. That was
let me tell you something.
On my couch on Valentine's Day when you guys were all making love with people, which I think is wonderful, but it's not for everybody. No. Anyway, I was...
Right, and there was no Pekingese right there.
No, but it felt like it. So anyway, I had this friend. This is so I had this friend, and he commented, and he said, "Oh, Bridget," on my comments, he's like, "This is when I used to put stuff on Facebook that was personal because it felt like that's the only person I had to talk to." So he's like, "Oh, I know Barry Manilow, and I can take you when he comes back." And I was like, "Well, don't say it if you don't mean it."
What? Seriously?
He meant it.
He meant it.
He meant it. So here's what happened. Short story long.
Please make it longer.
He is friends with Barry Manilow, so he's like, Barry Manilow's coming back. He has comeback tour, CBT's comeback tour, and he got us tickets, and we went, and we were 10th row.
What's in here in New York?
In Radio City Music Hall, where Barry Manilow was where he was a king. He is the king because he's from Brooklyn, and
is he?
If I'm looking out on the 36 people here, and then they're all blank faced. But if you ever have cared about anything, I care about Barry Manilow very deeply, and you go there and in a Radio City Music Hall, and I've been there, but I'd never really experienced in the way that I was about to because the night before I'd had a fight with my sister. You can edit this part out.
Right. That guy's having a beer.
Okay, the night before, I'd had a fight with my sister.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen her in a long time. She came to stay with me. She's a real bitch. And we got in a real big fight, and she was really nasty and hostile. But I was like, you know what? She wanted to come to Barry Manilow.
Okay.
I got 4 tickets. Scott was taking us. He's like, you can bring 2 friends. So we all, whatever. My sister flies in from Minnesota. She's like, it's on her bucket list because we grew up loving Barry Manilow. I'm so.
Because you're human. Yeah.
I feel like I'm short of breath talking about this.
It's fucking awesome.
I grew up we had Thanksgiving dinner and we would listen to Barry Manilow. We wouldn't talk. You couldn't have sports on, but you could listen to Barry Manilow. Anyway, short story long. We go to see Barry Manilow, right?
Yeah.
And we're at Barry Manilow. And if anybody's ever been to Radio City Music Hall, it's a music venue in New York City. And you go there, and there's an organ in the corner, right? An organ.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Anyway, so they have this, the lights come up, and there's 1,000,000 fucking 60-year-old women there with glow sticks, because they give everybody a glow stick on the way in, because it's Barry Manilow. And you're like, if you're gonna ever get a glow stick anywhere, it's not a rave, it's a next best thing. So everybody's got a glow stick there. And you don't know when you're gonna use it. You don't know, they just give you a glow stick, and they're gonna tell you
when you're gonna use it.
You don't know when you're gonna use it. But you go in there, and everybody is so fucking excited. So you go in, and then there's an organ in the corner, right? And then all of a sudden the lights come up, right? And then there's this like, and then I don't know if anybody is a classical music lover, but there's like this. It's Chopin Prelude, C minor, I think is what it is.
Okay.
Anyway, it's also the intro to he co-opted that for his song "Could It Be Magic." Oh. Anyway, so what happens is the light is up, and it looks like Barbara Walters from behind. You don't believe it's really Barry Manilow because it's like they're doing all this. They're doing like their arms are flailing. They're doing it like it's like a
He's making it big.
Like it's an Addams Family, but like it's a cartoon. You're like, that's not Barry Manilow. That's like a drag king queen or whatever. And then all of a sudden he turns around and it's Barry Manilow.
It's fucking Manilow. It's rows 10.
And 10. So you're close enough to the shit in your pants because you're shitting your pants that he can smell.
It's amazing. Okay.
It's amazing. Yeah. Anyway.
Here's what. Okay.
So you're getting where I'm excited.
Right.
And my sister bought me this sweatshirt.
You're wearing a necklace too.
Every day. Oh, and then my friend, he gave me this. Well, my two favorite things in the world are Barry Manilow and kitty cats, and it's Barry Manilow and it's two kittens, and he gave it to me on my birthday. Last year, and you could stop me on the street any day of the week, and you'll see that I'm wearing this, and probably this sweatshirt too, and I don't think that
This is a commitment to dorkdom that I approve of.
So my friend Dan, he's a lead singer of the Damn band, and he gave me this, and he gave it to me on my birthday at a Mexican restaurant, and I.
What'd you have? No, I'm just kidding.
I cried.
I had a fish taco. No, I'm just kidding. I saw Barry Manilow one time.
You did?
I did see Barry Manilow because Barry Manilow, for many years, I don't know how long, I don't know if it's still happening, but in Vegas. In Las Vegas, he had a theater, and he was doing, and it's still happening, I think, right? Or I don't know. But here's the weird thing.
It's over now.
It's over now. I got a couple of pieces of information about Barry Manilow that I do not know if they're true. One, he lives in Palm Springs now, and when he worked in Vegas, he would fly home every night. Yeah, this is not the ecological genius that you want him to be, but. It was a bit of a footprint, is what I'm saying. But if you're tracking that. The other fun fact, I was told, Marie Bamford told me that his safe word is apricot. I don't know if that's true. I don't know where she found that out. I know it was not personal experience, but because I did ask her if it was personal experience, she said it came in passing. That Barry Manilow.
How does she know that?
Well, she said she heard it. This is all hearsay. This is scuttlebutt. This is not a fact. But I like the idea that Barry Manilow's safe word would be apricot.
I don't want Barry Manilow to have a safe word. I want him to just always go for it.
But what if he's in a consenting situation where you need a safe word? Not that you would ever have to use it because you'd be with someone that loves you.
No, I've never been in a situation where you've ever really needed a safe word. And Barry Manilow...
Fair enough.
Have you?
Fair enough. No. This is this. Are you kidding? I have sex through a hole in a sheet. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. I know, but I'm not the wild cat in the sack that I'd look like.
I feel like you could be.
Yeah. No, it's all being done very secretly. Anyway, so it's a yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you ever listen to Barry Manilow?
Yeah. Here's what happened. So I got all married, and my friend calls me and she says, for your bachelorette party, I want to go to Vegas. And I said, well, I don't drink. I want to gamble, and I don't want to gamble. So, and I'm not looking for hookers. So why would we go to Vegas? And she said, because Barry Manilow.
Oh, she did?
Yeah. And I said, I want to do that. And so I asked all of my friends, my lady friends.
Wait, so this is your bachelorette party.
My bachelorette party
and you're not even a real fan of Lowe, but your friend's like, let's go to fucking Vegas.
Yeah, she was like, I want to see Barry Manilow. I think you would love to see Barry Manilow.
I would say that normally that she's a cunt because she's like trying to make you do something, but that sounds like a really good person.
She's a really good person. Really good person because here's the thing. She knew that I don't know anything about anything. So she was like, you would like this. And she is correct. Because I love Barry Manilow. I love the idea of roller skating backwards. I love all of the things with Barry Manilow. And so we...
I just want to take pause real quick before you finish. I know you're on a roll and everything, but like roller skating backwards and Barry Manilow are the same thing. I never heard it. I never heard it until you just said that.
It's a beautiful. It's a symbiotic relationship.
Yeah.
One would not exist without the other. Am I wrong? I am not wrong.
That feels right. Thank you. Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No. So but here's a weird thing, is that none of us knew that everyone came. Everyone fucking came. I was like, nobody else is going to want to go. And she said, well, I didn't even know you were going to want to go, but I think everyone should want to go. And so I asked people, and everyone said yes. Everyone said yes. And the people who couldn't come were sad. They were sad that they were already working or already couldn't do it. And
quit your job.
Quit your job.
Quit your job.
Cancel the gig. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, who cares?
My sister came. And we're not musical people. Like, we both own one album of every band in the world, and then we're done. And that was like, oh, that was great. The White Stripes. Oh, no, they just have the one album, right? Or whatever. The Beatles, the best of. I'm good. And, what's that? Wings? Sure. Anyway, so. What? I don't know. I don't know a lot about, but I like the musics of the people.
Whatever, it doesn't matter.
Sing a little Barry Manilow. What's your favorite? What are one of your favorites Barry Manilow songs?
It's like asking somebody to pick their kid. I'm just like...
I'll tell you, Matt Pronger's grandmother, she wouldn't have picked a kid.
She wouldn't be, yeah. That's right.
Matt Pronger's grandmother was correct.
If I had to pick my favorite Barry Manilow song...
Yeah. Just how about one of four? How about that? How about the first one that comes to mind that you like?
You know I can't smile without you. I can't. Anyway,
it's just beautiful. That was gorgeous. That was lovely.
Actually, my favorite Barry Manilow song is "Weekend in New England" or "Mandy" or whatever. But like, it's not.
Right. What's the one? Okay, so we had balcony seats.
Finish your story.
We had balcony seats, and he did this thing. It was a tiny theater, and tiny theater, and then he did 2 shows a night, and there were probably 350 people in it. And there were these little tiny, like the way the lighting was, he'd be in the middle, and then there'd be a side tiny stage and another side tiny stage.
That is so showbiz. I love that shit.
That guy puts on a show. That guy.
He does. He's a showman.
He's a total showman because he would go off to the side and sing whatever, right?
Yeah.
He'd sing a song that I can't remember. But while
it meant something to some people, not you, but it meant something to some people. Keep going.
I knew every goddamn song. I just can't remember the names of any of them. And so he's singing, and while he's singing, he'll grab some middle-aged white lady who's sitting in the front row, pull her up, and her husband will be fumbling with his camera, and he will keep singing, and he'll put his arm around her, and he's like, yeah, do it. And then she'll get a picture, and then he'll do it on the fucking other side for another 3 people, and he kept doing it. And then the encore, a staircase that came together, and he walked up, and he came right at us in the balcony. Dude is an amazing showman. You get a chance to see Barry Manilow, my friends. Go to see Barry Manilow.
Oh my God. And I just want to add that when I saw him at Radio City Music Hall, and this is not I'm not trying to, my point being is that, he had this video of him singing Mandy, like on American Bandstand.
Yes, from back in the day.
Yeah, and then he also sings it live, and he sings a duet with himself.
Yes. Which is, talk about a self-confidence.
It is so good.
It is, and it doesn't even feel douchey. It doesn't feel anything.
Because it's not. It doesn't feel douchey because it's not.
It's not. It's the greatest thing in the world.
It is.
It'd be like if I were playing my album and then I would just mouth the words of my own joke along with it.
Yes.
But not even feel self-conscious about it.
You wouldn't have to because it's awesome.
But I'm trying to think, what's the, I wish I could remember. A lot of people prepare. Not me. But here's the thing, is, the song that he sang,
as an encore. Do you remember the song he sang as an encore? Because he probably does the same encore. Bill Cosby, everyone's mentioning him. He always does the dentist bit as an encore.
Well, it's
and then
different.
He rapes someone.
It's different when you're a singer because
too soon.
What'd you say?
Then he rapes someone. It's right.
Not just someone, like a village.
Oh, right. He is raping a village.
Yeah, I mean, But anyway, we're not trying to get political. We're just talking about Barry Manilow. I feel like Barry,
how could you?
He could do anything. Like, that's the thing about Barry Manilow. Like, he could do anything as an encore, and people would be psyched. Like,
because he has 30 hits, right? He has a million hits.
He's in the Songwriters Hall of Fame. He's won like Grammys,
Oscars,
everything. Like, I don't know.
Did he ever have any music? Did he ever? Oh, he's not EGOT?
He did not write the songs. I write the songs, but how ironic is that? Because he's written so many songs that are so wonderful and that have meant so much to so many of us here tonight. Like, we could go around the room and we could ask each one of these 36 people a story about Barry Manilow, and everybody would have one. But let's not.
Okay. But I do actually. Shout out. So what is a favorite? Can anyone think of one offhand? Daybreak. Copacabana.
Daybreak. That's a fucking jam. That's a fucking jam.
How does Daybreak go?
Daybreak, if you want to believe.
Oh, right.
Daybreak.
Copacabana was the one that
shine all around. Who fucking has the balls? Who has the balls anymore to write a fucking like this? Is shine, shine, shine all around the world, and then whistle. Who does that?
Nobody does that. Nobody's got those balls. He's got the best. The encore he did was Copacabana.
Well, you know what? You can't beat that.
You can't beat that. That was a stick. That's the best one. It's one of the best ones.
It is. And it's like, and I feel like, and when Barry came out, when I saw him at Radio City Music Hall.
Yes.
He had the Copacabana jacket on.
Oh, did he?
It's got these ruffles. You can't, if you're listening at home, you can't see what I'm doing with my fingertips, but I'm creating the illusion of ruffles. And he had this shirt with a lot of ruffles, and I think that basically, like, it's sad now what's happening to pop music,
right?
Because there's no ruffles.
I mean, because he was in that weird. There was that weird thing where there was.
It wasn't a weird thing. It was when meaning was meaningful.
It's true. People really felt shit in the 70s. Remember that song "On and On"?
Oh my God, it's so good.
It's a one-hit wonder, my friends. I saw it on the Merv Griffin show. Yes, you keep on singing. Uh-oh. Yeah, I'm not. I'm a team singer and never with a cold. So,
you sound beautiful.
Thanks.
Don't beat yourself up like
Don't
that.
do it.
Beautiful voice.
I got a beautiful voice. It's great. And but there was in the 70s there was a lot of things happening that were different. I mean, it was, how like with music, nudity, pregnancy. People weren't getting pregnant in the 60s. I remember that. but like musically, there was a doo-woppy hard rock and then guitar rock.
Yeah.
And then there was this weird, I don't know if was it a Casio? What was the invention that really made the 70s soft rock sound?
Well, Casio was like beautiful thing.
It is a beautiful thing, and there's a lot of great, like, it's because Barry Manilow was huge. It was him, and it was Neil Diamond, and it was
Barbra Streisand was also doing some great stuff back then.
Yep, she was really nailing it, knocking it out of the park, right? Sure.
We're losing you, but it's true.
It's true. So you've only seen him the once. Is that true?
Yeah, because most of the time it's better to keep you away from your idols, Like, I've learned that.
Feet of clay. I'm with you. I get it.
Every time I don't know if I mentioned, I did get to go backstage that night that I saw him.
What? That's right, because your friend was a friend.
My friend was a friend, and I feel like normally, like, it's in show business, like, you shouldn't, like, the more you do, sort of the more you meet or whatever kind of thing. It's like a butcher metaphor. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I got to go backstage, and like everybody was there. It was like a really packed thing, and like Rosie O'Donnell and Nipsey Russell. I don't know who everybody was there. Like, it was packed full of people.
I want Nipsey Russell to have been there. Was he there? No. Somebody playing the part of Nipsey Russell?
Everywhere I go, Nipsey Russell is there.
Excellent. Nipsey Russell is here, you guys. When you get a chance, go up to Fontana's upstairs.
He does. He's here.
He's here.
But anyway, we went, we go and we like sit there and we go up close to him. And the point being is just like, he was so nice, and and like a lot of people in show business are not nice, and he was, well, no, people are very nice. What am I talking about? Like, I know everybody in show business.
Did he make an effort to be courteous?
He was the nicest thing ever, and he looked just like Barbara Walters. And it was the coolest thing, and we got right up next to him, and we took a picture.
You got a picture with him?
We didn't.
Didn't come out.
It did, but my sister cut me out of it on Facebook.
Ooh. Yeah, there's some silence.
You can hear this. Radio silence really means something tonight.
Yeah.
But anyway, the point being is like, it's like nice to meet your heroes.
Yeah.
But it's almost better not to sometimes. But he was so nice, and he was like...
It's nice to meet them in passing if they're super courteous.
Yeah, but like...
And polite.
But Barry Manilow's like one of those people like Richard Simmons or somebody else, like where I feel like I'm going to flatulate in front of them. I get so excited.
Right, you're so excited. You're just
so excited because like for me, like Barry Manilow is like, he reminds, like, you know, like turkey stuffing. He's a part of my fabric, like, or like, Dukes of Hazzard. Like, so he's like he just, I don't know.
He's a seminal character in our childhood, in our lives.
Like, you know, and
he's larger than life. He really is. He's a tiny man, right? Is he really tiny?
No, he's not.
He's not. He looked tiny from where...
He must be 6 feet tall, but he does look like an elderly woman, but he is strong.
Oh, is he kind of wiry?
He's 70-something, and he just looks like Barbara Walters. I don't know how else to describe it. Like,
because I can't picture Barbara Walters is my biggest problem. Yeah.
Who doesn't know
I said that? I'm alone. I know that. I get that. Welcome to the Dork Forest. Jackie doesn't know shit.
It's just it's interesting to think about it. Of all the like.
I'm in the part of show business that doesn't know who anybody fucking is, so I never knew who I know who Barbara Walters.
Barbara Walters is like she's just like a.
She's a news person, and she interviews people, right? The look on your face is kind of precious, and we could also talk about other people I don't know. Snooki, I don't know who that fucking lady is. And
well, you know what? I like
fine.
Snooki. I think she's
I
think she's got a great attitude. She
Oh,
does.
Okay.
I'm not I don't know about them Kardashian people, but I like Snooki.
Okay.
I like
All right.
Snooki.
All right. What about Richard
What are you
Simmons?
upset about?
What happened? What made you sad? Richard Simmons,
Well,
yeah.
Richard Simmons, let us pray. Because Richard Simmons, I don't know.
Amen.
I don't know,
anyway,
but the point
so
being,
Richard Simmons, he used to be fat. He was a grape or something in the Fruit of the Loom people.
Yeah.
And then he started working out.
Okay,
and he was
yeah.
very, very supportive of people working out.
Yeah.
And he always has been. Correct?
Yes.
There you go. Have I summed it up?
And me and my sister, not the one I was talking about before, my sister, this
another
dead,
sister.
Well, she's dead now, but we in the 80s, and I'm not trying to bring anybody down, but it's like, you know, whatever. Anyway, so in the 80s, we used to do his like little workouts in our basement or whatever.
Oh, right.
Anyway, short story long. I started working at the Ruby Foods. It's this restaurant. It was in New York City for a number of years.
Right.
And we used to get all these celebrities in there. Like, it was like a hot spot.
Okay.
And like J-Lo came in with P. Diddy and all that stuff. You know, all the shit was really happening. Anyway, and it had this winding staircase, and Richard Simmons comes in one day. He's wearing shorts, just like in the movies.
What?
And he comes up, yes, and there's this big winding staircase, and he just looks at everybody, and it's the only time I've ever seen, he stopped, it was a 300-seat restaurant. Everybody shut up and just watch Richard Simmons walk up the stairs. Anyway, here's a story that I should never tell anybody, but I'm going to tell you right now. Edit this out if you can.
This is it. All right, I'll make a note.
I went to.
You guys are the only ones.
I went to Los Angeles, California, and we were pitching a television show. It was me and my friend Adam, who's in my band, who's also known as Ad Rock from the Beastie Boys, right?
Okay.
Anyway, so we go to LA and we're trying to pitch all these things, and I was like, listen, if we're going to be there, can we please can we go to Simmons?
Oh, right.
And that's the Richard Simmons. He teaches a class 2 times a week, right? At this place in Beverly Hills. And it says Simmons on the door. Like, get it, Richard Simmons and Slim. You get Slim. Richard Simmons.
It's just
right?
good writing. It's good writing.
It's good writing. So we go in, and anyway, so I go in with Adam Adrock, who's the BC Boys, if you give a shit about that kind of thing. Anyway, and we're there, and there's all these old ladies telling us that, like, where we can stand, you can't stand in the first and second row, but don't stand in the back because then you get whatever. So stand in the fourth row, and we do the whole thing.
You're assigned where you stand?
Yeah, it's supposed to be like really cool and like you can chill and you can do whatever you want, but you can't.
Is it expensive?
What's that?
Was it expensive?
No, it's like $15.
Oh my God.
I would do it every day if I could, if I thought I could. But right now, I think he's had some injury and he's like upset and he's like locked up at home. But if you can, anyway. So we went and like they brought everybody out into the middle. So there's this thing like where they bring everybody in a circle. You know, like it's like a ring of fire. Like it's a ring of Richard Simmons exercise fire. And then like everybody's around the rim, and then he goes out in the middle and he keeps bringing people out there like in inspirational ways, like people that used to be real fat and they're not fat anymore, or people that used to fucking feel shitty and they feel great. And then all of a sudden, and then he brings out Adam, who's my friend, who nobody knows, but he's this guy, and he's wearing this like. We wore matching outfits. We thought it'd be cute to wear gray on gray.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we go out there and he pulls Adam in the middle. And he's going to kill me for telling this story. And he makes Adam take off his shirt. And Adam's not like a nudie person like I am. Like, I'll take my clothes off anywhere. Right now, if you ask me to, don't, but I would. Anyway, so we're out there. So he fucking takes off his shirt. And then all of a sudden, Richard starts doing these like fucking, what do you call it? The eyes from the fucking movie with the Uma Thurmans and the Pulp Fiction. Yeah, he's
Crazy.
doing all that. And Adam's like, what are you doing to me? What are you going to do to me? What are you doing to me? And I was just smiling so much on the inside because there was Richard Simmons and there was Adrock from the BC Boys in the middle of this ring of fire of fucking sexual aerobic energy. And like, and they were, and nobody knew what was happening, but it felt so. Anyway, that's what Barry Manilow means to me.
That is kind of the power of Richard Simmons too, though. I mean, they're kind of the same guy.
They are.
They're very powerful in their own worlds, right? In their own unique worlds. Richard Simmons is the Barry Manilow of exercise time.
At the very and just at the very end, Richard Simmons makes everybody lay down to do ab work, but you're not really doing ab work. You're just listening to him, and he sits everybody down for an inspirational talk. And then he does this thing, and he's like, I just spent this morning with 13 morbidly obese people, and I would just like to say that complainers are drainers. And then he goes off on this whole thing, and he's
with rhyming couplets.
He starts crying, and he's crying,
and
you're all just laying there to do. It's real. Wow. It's real.
He's feeling it.
He's feeling it.
He's really feeling it.
And then after that, like you're doing your ab work, which is just listening to him cry and everything. He like puts on, he's like, and by the way, and he's like, and then he puts on the needle on the record, and he has a record player there just for the cool down, and it's he plays this song from his upcoming album, and he's like, this song is about cats and dogs. It's called Cats and Dogs. So hyped up from the endorphins of the exercise and the joy of Richard Simmons. But so the last couple of months he's gone into hiding. I think we've all been very concerned, and somebody's tweeting or Facebooking for him, so we think he's okay, but we don't know.
Okay, but
if you had, I don't mean to back it up, but if you did have to back it up to like when Matt was talking about like his grandmother and like all her kids and stuff, like. If I had to pick between, like, the worst day of my life being whether Richard Simmons died and Barry Manilow died, I don't know what I would do. I feel like I would, like, if I had to pick, like...
Who would die first?
I don't know what I would do.
Good news. You don't get to pick. No offense. I love that story. You guys got to listen to the live New York Podfest Bronger Donger thingy because that was just the greatest. His grandmother had 9 children, and some foolish child asked, "Who would you pick, our dad or us, if you had to pick between the two of us?" And the only reason she had those 9 children was because she liked the guy. I mean, that's the only reason anybody has children, is because you want to replicate genetically what is happening there.
Also, just because it feels good and you get drunk, I guess.
Oh, well, the HBI, yes, the hot beef injection, as we used to call it.
In my 20s, I could swear by it. I could swear by the way that was better than happy hour. It just felt good.
Oh, getting fucked?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Getting fucked is great. But I'm talking about having a baby. That can't be fun, right?
I'm not interested. It's already, I can't imagine what it looks like now versus what it would look like after a baby.
There.
I can't imagine.
You're like right down here, a thing coming out.
No, it is. It's down by my kneecaps. I'm certain of it. It's like, even with the cold.
But it's
too far.
Too far? Is there a line? There's no line, because the thing is people. You remember? Here's a bit. I've been working on this bit about people who have babies. But remember when we were little? Were you a little girl who wanted a baby? You know, like there would be little girls who are like, I want a baby doll. When can I get a baby doll?
No.
Me neither. I was like, I would like a bow and arrow and a ticket out of this fucking town. I was like, there were people who were like, I want a baby. And I'm like, you're a baby. You don't want a baby. You're a 4-year-old. I need a baby. Where's my baby? And it was like, you're a baby.
I don't understand that.
Why don't you want a knife?
And then you get the dolls and you would feed them, and they would give you like these little cups, and you feed them, and then the food would come back out their mouth.
Right, it was all very weird. They were like realistic baby dolls. And those people, I hope they had children. I hope they did, because they clearly have wanted them.
They shouldn't have.
Since they were children, they wanted children. And then I, myself, never wanted children until I met Andy Ashcraft, and I was like, well, I wouldn't mind one of those. But then we're not going to probably have it because I'm 100. And,
no, you can still do it.
No, I'm not having, we're not going through medical experiments so that I can have a fucking litter. I'm not doing that. I don't want a baby. It's fine. Anyway, he's got cousins. Anyway, it'll be fine. But the thing, and now we'll get to sleep in. You know, we'll get to spend our money on ourselves. It'll be lovely.
That's nice.
Yeah. No, it's all good. But people who did want babies when they were babies, I hope they all got to have babies because they wanted them so badly. It was so weird.
It seems weird. I don't understand that.
Maybe I need a baby dork on. Like anybody out there listening to the show, or any of you people, I'm in town for a couple of weeks, who, when you were 4 years old and you wanted a baby, talk to me. Did you have a baby? Was it exciting? Did you like all kinds of different baby dolls? But it was weird though. Anyway, I've weeded off entirely. Let's look at my list.
We've talked too long, right?
No, we haven't. We're real close. We're real close. What about the movie? Here's my favorite, because everything that you love is so emotionally out there. It's like your heart is on your sleeve, and it's a beautiful thing. Well, Bridget Everett, it's a beautiful thing.
Thank you, Jackie.
What is your favorite movie?
Rudy.
Yes, Rudy. Rudy. Yeah. So anyway,
I like things that involve slow claps and a lot of tears.
The slow clap jock is a guy who is on your side. It's true. That guy's on your side.
I feel like, not that you're asking, but my favorite part of Rudy.
I am asking.
Is when, and it's been a minute since I've seen it, but, basically, I feel like there's like 2 schools of thought in this world, like people that love Rudy and people that are horrible. And
if you cannot see the joy of Rudy, it is weird.
It's weird. It's weird. It's like, oh, I don't like cat videos. I don't like hugging my mother. I don't like fucking buffets. I don't like things that make me feel full and great. But there's this part in Rudy. And I'll leave you with this. I know the show's not over, but
we're close. We're real
I will
close.
say that like there's this part in Rudy, right? Like I like things that make me cry a lot. So I feel like it's important.
That's right, you
like,
do.
I also really love the movie Dancer in the Dark.
What's that?
You. Well, it stars Bjork and Catherine Deneuve, and Catherine Deneuve allegedly said about Bjork that Bjork cannot act, she can just be, because she was so in it. And anyway, watch it. Your blood vessels will pop. Okay. But anyway, back to Rudy.
Yes, please.
There's this scene, right? There's too many scenes. Like, you can just go to Rudy Clips on YouTube.
I am going to Rudy Clips. That sounds awesome.
Anyway, there's a scene, right? And the coach is a new coach. It's Rudy's senior year. He's worked so hard to get this. So I don't want to get into it. But the team captain goes into Coach Devine's office, right?
Oh, right.
You know what I'm talking about?
I'm talking about the jersey.
Shut up! Let me tell. So the player knocks on the door.
Captain of the team, right?
Yeah, and he says, hey, coach. He says, hey, player. He says, I'd like Rudy to dress in my place, coach. He says, well, God damn it. You're an All-American and the team captain. Why don't you act like it? And he says, I believe I am. And he takes his jersey and he puts it on his desk. Boom. Boom. And just when you think that you can't handle that, in comes that big motherfucker with the blue eyes. And he does the same goddamn thing. And then some other extra that's not a good actor does the same goddamn thing. And everybody keeps doing it.
Right.
You tell me, if you can't fucking cry at that, you can't cry at America, because that is the best shit. And then also, there's also the part, like, don't even get me started. There's also the part in the tunnel, like, they're in, like, it's like not the audience, they're in the, what do you call it, the stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Charles Dutton, a.k.a. The Rock, is fucking Rudy. Sean Astin, who should have at least been nominated for a Golden Globe, if not an Oscar, for this work in this film. He's standing there because, like, you cannot pull that shit off unless you're, like, that who... Anyway.
Remember when he was Samwise? Anyway, go.
He's standing there, and then Charles Dutton, The Rock, comes up, and, like, and Rudy's quit the team because, you know, he's whatever. And then Charles Dutton, The Rock, comes up, and he's like, you're 5'0", 100 and nothing. But you got a spot on the greatest goddamn team. And then, like, tell me you don't cry.
I do cry. I always cry.
That's a good fucking movie, right?
It's a good fucking movie.
And then if you
a lot of people don't know this.
Please. Last part. I don't want to ruin the movie for anybody who hasn't seen it. But there's this part in the movie. It's at the end, right? And then they're getting, and everybody's made up, and everybody's like, oh, whatever. And then Rudy, they're letting him finally, they put their jerseys on the fucking table, right?
Right.
And he finally gets his suit up. And they're there in the tunnel before they go out.
Right.
And they just the team captain grabs him by the fucking mask. Mm-hmm. And it was like, are you ready for this, Rudy? And he's like, I've been ready for this moment my whole life. He's like, then you lead us out there.
Right.
And then they fucking start clapping.
It's great.
And Rudy goes out. Come on.
It's great. Anyone think about that guy 5 years later? Nobody ever does. Anyway, but
Jesus!
I don't mean to. But the weird thing. Somebody, you ever see the musical 1776?
I don't ever want to, because I just want you to say sorry about what you just said about Rudy.
I am sorry about what I said about Rudy. Now, here's what happened. John Hancock takes his doublet. And he takes it up to the Declaration of Independence.
His what, like?
His doublet. And he lays it.
What's that mean?
On the doublet. He lays it on the Declaration.
What's a doublet?
It's his jersey. He lays it on the Declaration of Independence.
Are you making this up?
Yeah. Oh. And he lays it on this Declaration of Independence, and then he signs his name on it. He's like, I hope they can fucking read this in England. And then up comes John Adams with his doublet, and he lays it on top of the Declaration of Independence, and he signs it. And then one after another, they all come, and then finally, the little guy comes. No, there's no little guy in the Declaration of Independence. Everybody's just another white guy. Anyway, no, the movie Rudy is an excellent movie. And the thing is you don't even have to be a sports fan to love the movie Rudy. Because you can see the movie Rudy, you could see the movie Hoosiers. You could
Same director, same writer.
Oh, really?
Yes.
How about two... Oh.
Yes, David Anspaugh directed both of them. I met him in Bloomington, Indiana, just this past fall.
How about that Bloomington, Indiana movie? Have you seen that one? Breaking Away. Not Breaking Bad. The bicycle movie Breaking Bad, where they bike for meth.
And then you see their penis, right? You see they show penis in that one.
They show penis in Room with a View. I don't remember a penis. It was Dennis Quaid in Breaking Away.
I love Dennis Quaid in that Julianne Moore movie.
Yeah, I loved him. Let's wait off. I liked him in The Big Easy, where he does a horrible, horrible Creole accent, and yet is very handsome. And Ellen Barkin, the original.
Ellen Barkin's a cunt.
Ellen Barkin, the original Squinty McClintock.
No, pause the programming and please do not edit this out.
Ellen Barkin.
I was at a party.
You were at a party with Ellen Barkin? Big duck pile of money that she fucked her way through. Might as well been sitting on
a big pile of I'm a fucking cunt because she was. And what happened was I was there with my friends and my friend introduced me to her and she dipped her fingers into my hand like they're like, oh, it's my friend Bridget.
Yeah.
And she says hello. And I know listeners at home you can't see, but imagine somebody taking just 3 fingers, dipping them in.
Yeah.
Turning your head away and saying, I have a lot of very expensive jewelry, and I don't care who you are, you bitch. That is what Ellen Barkin did to me. And as far as I'm concerned...
Out loud.
No, she didn't say that.
Oh,
she dipped her fingers into my hand because she was married to some like Ron Perlman or something like Revlon or whatever. But my point, you can edit around this, but my point being is I did meet Ellen Barkin, and she was an I&rsquo cunt, and like apparently that is, and I know the word cunt is like not as trendy as it used to be, but if you have like there are times and there are instances when you have to really apply it, and here's one of these cases because I was at a party, we had a lot of mutual friends.
Call her a stadium pal.
What is the stadium pal?
It's that thing that you wear at the stadium so you can piss yourself and nobody cares. It's like even worse. It's like even worse than a cunt. So she's a stadium pal.
Who's been keeping stadium pal a secret all this time? That's a great word.
I heard about it from David Sedaris. He was talking about the stadium pal.
All right, well, she's a stadium pal.
Well, that's what she is.
Also, she just really, I just feel like
Hurt your feelings.
She hurt my feelings. And I just feel like I don't normally necessarily care about, like, any, like, grudges or whatever.
Right.
But if we were to have a grudge match, I would do it with Richard Simmons in my corner. And I would...
Is there a battle? You're saying there could be a battle royale between you and Ellen Barkin, who is approximately 73 years old. You should fight the young Squinty McClintock who got her eyes fixed.
Who's the young Squinty McClintock?
Who just got her eyes fixed? Renee Zellweger.
I think she seems very nice.
I always thought that she seemed horrible when she was Squinty McClintock. I'm sure she's perfectly nice now. Because she got her eyes fixed, and people are giving her shit because she got her eyes fixed. But anyone, it's like the woman from Dirty Dancing who got her nose adjusted, and everybody gave her some shit for it. And you're like, well, why wouldn't everyone get everything fixed? Because everybody keeps pointing at it.
That's true.
And then you
That's
get it fixed.
That's what happened to Richard Simmons.
Right? What did he get fixed?
His hair.
Oh, he had he had poofy dandelion hair.
He did, but he doesn't anymore. So now he has that spray tan on the hair, and it looks like a bowling ball up close.
Not right. He should. You just gotta own
Richard,
your bullshit,
I'm not
you guys.
mad at it, but like it looks like it's like he got his scalp stained.
You can get your scalp.
He did.
That's a lot. Let's not end on that. Let's not end on that. Let's end on something cheerful, you guys. I don't know. How about Chardonnay? How about Martin Short? Wait, that's
Chardonnay.
right. Chardonnay. Is there a good Chardonnay that you would recommend people?
Yeah, I think anybody that cares about anything in this world would agree with me that the best way to spend a night in is sitting at home, listening to Dork Forest. And if you can't, get yourself a Forever Lazy, and it's an adult onesie. I have two. They have a trap door in the back. And sometimes it's quicker to zip it down the front and take the whole thing down, but it's more fun to work out the back flap and sit down and go pee-pee. Mm-hmm. And if I could do that every night, listening to Dork Forest, I would. And what I would also do is I would open myself up a bottle of Rombauer Chardonnay. They don't follow me back on Twitter. They follow 2,500 people. They do not follow me. I'm verified. They don't follow me.
At Bridget Everett, who is verified.
But me
How do you spell Rombauer?
Well, you spell it C-U-N-T.
S-T-A-D-I-U-M. Pal.
Me and some people are familiar with her work. Amy Schumer and my friend Amy Schumer and I, we go on. We do things together.
Right.
And what we like to do is when we do them together, we like to drink Rombauer Chardonnay. It's $34 to $40 a bottle, so it's not like.
It's not ridiculously expensive, but it's not $2.
But it's also kind of a special occasion. And I feel like as many special occasions as I've had, that if they're going to follow 2,500 people, they could follow 2,501. It's really oaky, really buttery, really creamy, really toasty. If you're really into like a really creamy, oaky, buttery, toasty night in with an adult onesie and a trap door, like I would sit at home and I would put on Barry Manilow, I would put on my adult onesie, and I would drink Rombauer Chardonnay and do it just until you had to go pee-pee.
It's a nice Chardonnay, you guys. So if you enjoy a white wine, I take it that's a white wine.
It's a white wine.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Again, more information I don't know. So feel free to tune in regularly to the Dork Forest, where you can find out other things I don't know. There are buildings full of it. So thank you so much for supporting a live Dork Forest. You've chosen wisely. Take care of each other out there. Good night.
Bye. Thank you, Jackie.
Thanks, Bridget Everett. Yay. All right.
My hat. They're dancing around my hat. My hat. Well, what do you think of that? If it looks like a Mexican hat dance and it sounds like a Mexican hat dance, it's most likely a Mexican hat dance. So take off your hat and let's dance.
Yay! Oh my God. Why don't we just call that as the end of the show?